and welcome to the Magic of Boat 77th episode. Ronnie here. I have Shudipta. We're recording after a while. How how have you been?
So far, good. Everything is new actually, and we are having so many technical issues today.
Yeah, it's part of the fun. Was trying to go
Yeah,
live and yeah, it didn't happen. But coming back to that, we had lots of things to talk about. Starting, where you want to start?
we can start from like today's game, like Chelsea versus Liverpool.
Sure.
Oh, for our viewers,
We're going to talk
actually,
it about it's a preview, right?
yeah, and also like for our viewers, like for their information, we have decided to change our structure. Um, so we will not go through every match as possible or something like that. And it's like at the end of it, it's like we are blabbering it. We will focus on specific matches
Yeah.
right now. One, two, or probably three highest. And we'll go through previews, I guess. And it's actually up to you if you are watching it, and then if you have like special recommendation or something like that, like just let us know 2 weeks before so that like we can record it in the next weekend or something like that.
Yeah, great. I guess we can jump into it. I feel ready to talk about some Liverpool versus Chelsea. I mean, since uh, obviously both teams has significant amount of changes. So, what is your basic expectation from this game?
Nothing actually. It's still preseason. It feels like preseason. Also, like Chelsea bought a bunch of new players. Like they are like sort of like a new Nottingham Forest or something like that.
Yeah,
Uh, I don't know how will it work. Also, Liverpool changed their entire midfield. They are sort of like in a battle for Caicedo
yeah,
right now.
yeah,
I'm not sure if anyone was winning because Caicedo wants to go to Chelsea. I guess like there is a big package of money involved, and as you know, like from the last summer, sorry, last winter he wanted to move out because of the contract situation. So it was temporarily avoided by the Brighton owners. They gave him a short-term contract, and because of the contract, his value is now a little bit higher, and that's why they are Liverpool made a 110 million pound bid, and I don't know, like at the end of it, one party will win, and today is sort of like the game for I don't know battle for Caicedo, something like that.
yeah. And there's a lot more to beside Caicedo. I mean,
Yep.
obviously, as you mentioned, it still feels like kind of preseason. It's not really settled in yet. I mean, it
Yeah.
takes good few weeks to feel that. But again, these are important games. I mean, these are really nervy games as well. So for Liverpool, I mean, last season wasn't really what they were hoping for, and there are a lot of changes. Like Henderson has been one of the key figures in this dressing room. Has gone to Saudi Arabia. I think there's been trend for a lot of
Three,
players, not
three,
just him. Um,
yeah,
Firmi,
three Liverpool players,
Firmino,
Firmino, Fabinho as well.
exactly. So and they've got some new services from, as you say, two Brighton players. I mean, if Kaiser decides to join, um, but do you feel Liverpool will have a little bit of edge on that, given that Chelsea was really, I mean, Liverpool was mess. What about Chelsea? Last year was really mess.
Actually, actually, if you see the last 10 games, I guess like they have a good run. I think they were just behind City in the last 10 game. They could not actually made it to the top four, but they were fifth and almost had it actually. Uh, if they started the run like one or two match before that, then that they would have actually also like they have some crazy results like 3-3 draw with Brentford. One of the best game probably last
Yeah,
in the last season in Premier League. Um, there were actually a few uncertainties, and we are actually going to dive into it.
sure. Let's
Um,
dive into it.
yeah, I will show you my screen. Can you see?
Yep, pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, like I did not put any name, so like I used
Yeah, fair enough.
other stuff
So which one is Chelsea?
because
I'm assuming the blue one.
yeah, of course, the blue one, and the red ones are Liverpool.
Okay,
So they used to, can I say, build up as a 4-3-3 like Salah and other winger, whoever is playing. There will be like pushing other teams back a little bit, or running. Salah basically will run through these half spaces. I don't know about like who is going to play, um, but it seems like this position. I think Jota is going to start or something like that. But it depends. Like if Jota is playing, then he's a little bit. How can I say? More like a false nine, and if Gakpo is playing, his position is sort of like he will sort of create sort of like a diamond in the midfield
yep,
or something like that. And now they since the last season they started put Trent Alexander-Arnold in the midfield to I don't know like to use his ball control capacity and this long passes towards this like uh, towards this through the defense actually, especially those lob passes toward the other side of the second bar or something like that. So and Darwin Nunez actually will benefit from that actually because if he starts there in the left, and he has a tendency to move in the second post as well. So yeah, so far what I have seen, like McAllister, well, he can play in every position, but like it's a good idea to play him in these spaces because if you remember, like last season, he was really dangerous in this sort of spaces, half spaces. Sometimes he was shifting
yep,
with like other midfielders and create sort of like a confusion to the man markers or something like that. Sometimes some teams actually, like Forest probably, or some other teams actually try to man mark him to stop him, but there were other contributory factors to that team, like last season with Deserbi. But this season, I don't think he will. They should actually try to. And there is this interesting addition to the team is actually Soboslai, because as you can see, like the build up is pretty much narrow. So they will need some depth, I guess. So how will they get it? Actually, it's Soboslai who actually played for Leipzig in that right winger as an attacking midfielder, or even like a false nine, and sometimes like what's this? Sometimes in the left half spaces. Actually, he ran quite a lot, so he can play. Basically, both of these midfielders can play. Also, like they are defensively solid and really face resistance. Also, like they can how can I say match up the energy of the club team required. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like they will try to create this sort of like a 3-2-5 in the build-up situation. So yeah, that's sort of what we are expecting. But
right.
as you know, it can
Yeah,
change.
and again, it's really start of the season. To be honest,
Yeah,
it's takes at least few games. But what does
yeah,
happen all of a sudden with a new manager? There is point to prove, right? and
Yes.
sometimes it brings blessing to the team, and the players, they started to I mean, show their potential and try to secure first 11 spot and stuff like that. So on that sense, obviously Klopp is not a new manager. Obviously Pochettino is, and but he has its work cut out, and there's a lot of player from Chelsea. I mean, there was too many players to start with,
Yes.
and a lot
Yeah.
of players have
But
left. Go ahead.
sorry to interrupt.
No, no.
But for from Chelsea's point of view, their plans were a little bit disrupted. I guess like because of the injury of Nkunku, I think they because of that reason they went for Tommy Adams. Tommy Adams, right?
Yeah,
The U.S. international. So like I think they bought him for how can I say 20 yeah, 20 million pound or something like that. Yeah, and another thing is that like um, he there were other players like they start looking solid like they bought them last season like but there's this problem with both of the team is like their central pieces are not actually fixed because Fabinho used to play this role for like
hmm,
the pivot midfielder for Liverpool for a while, and now they thought like Henderson will stay or something like that. But when the offer came, they accepted. So I don't know like who will play in this role. McAllister can play, or Curtis Jones or someone else. Uh, but I don't think it would be a good idea to play Alexander Arnold in this role. It would be it's not
no,
good because
definitely,
he's
I
very
agree.
yeah,
Not.
great disaster.
It's
Uh, same
go ahead.
same thing actually goes for Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah.
He can actually like support this. How can I say? Mm, he can play this role as a pivot or something like that. But he will need someone else in besides because he does not have this positional sense like as a pivot, like single pivot. If you remember in the World Cup, always he always have either like DePaul or McAllister besides him, or sometimes when they were ahead, Paradise came in or something like that in supporting him. So yeah, because he has a tendency to like push up to get more involved in the final third, especially in this sort of spaces. But if you know from the fact, I think we discussed it our last or the um, video previously we recorded. I
Right.
think it depends on like you don't move that much, but you just pop up in the right places,
Or
and that's not his skill set actually.
my bigger thing with Klopp's classic successful Liverpool team is a
Mhm.
transition. How quicker they're, how brilliantly they could just and quickly they can transit to attack. Um, with the attackers they have right now, obviously all are fairly pacey, but still it's not really. I mean, I'm not really sure how they're going to get the ball on back of net. Obviously, Salah can score, but he had some rough patches last season. It was not consistent all over.
Um, Actually, they scored pretty much average or something like that.
Yeah.
But the problem was in their defense because of Alexander Arnold. They had to like think about also like the shapes and also Fabinho was not in good form as well. So they did not have a stable midfield as well. But now they can actually push up like with this five player. They can actually create sort of like a mid block or something like higher mid block or something like that and try to win the ball there because as you know like the season before when they have this like 64 games run or something like that then they were actually getting a lot of balls there and if you remember the Klopp's quote was that like counter pressing is the best playmaker.
Yeah.
So
Um,
so probably they will stick with this, stick with this principle. Yeah, go ahead.
no, I was going to say this would be very interesting to see how they're going to make any kind of adjustment to the back line
Mhm.
to the front, and how quick the transition is, as well as it would be interesting to see the Mauricio Pochettino's classic side always had a wing backs has very important role to play, and Chelsea has very I mean Rick James and what's his name, um,
Chilwell.
yeah, they will have a significant role to play. Not just only this game, but for the season. It would be really interesting to see how they're going to
Yeah,
use it.
yeah, but here is the difference actually. Reece James is really good in this sort of area, actually, like going up and down uh, this sort of area. But they're not going to play with like back three. They're going back to like 4-2-3-1
Yeah,
or
that's
4-3
yeah,
stuff
that's
like that.
I'm not well. Let's not put my judgment over it. Let me see the game. I'm still kind of doubtful about not having like three in the back.
Um, yeah, but I'm not sure actually because three in the back is would be a waste of resources because like for example if you're playing like this or something like that, so yeah, eventually what happens there, like you have like one less midfielder, um, and if they play Jota or someone else, even like Jota Gapco, who are playing this role actually, like they are sort of like coming down in the like on the neck of the pivot actually
No,
pivot players
I
or
totally get it. I totally get it. They're going to outnumber
they
in the middle. You need some kind
they
of
will outnumber in the
yeah.
middle actually, and
But then
Liverpool will get all there and a lot, and that's why actually Liverpool is like really dangerous.
but then you can really outnumber them on the flanks because Liverpool is
Yeah,
what it
but you have to
seems.
go outside of the press, and none of the players actually know each other that much actually.
That's true. That's very true.
Actually, that's true for both of the team. So
Yeah,
like it will be a really highly
high risk.
transitional game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like a really transitional game so far. And Liverpool will have a little bit edge over Chelsea, because none of these 11 player, I guess, except for Reece James and the keeper and Chilwell, I guess, like also I think yeah, defend they played well together, but midfield and attack is completely new. And for Liverpool, I think their attack is right now not new actually, um, but the midfield is. So I don't know. I am interested to see who is playing this role for the both of the team actually.
Okay. Fair enough. Um, yeah, I don't have anything to add, and it's really early.
Yeah, but yeah, also like from the Chelsea side, what they will try to do, I guess, like
But do
um,
you have a question? Do you think Mudryk is going to play? Because
yeah,
they've
he's
lost
going to play.
Mason Mount, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
he's. I think he's one of the most important part of the Pochettino's plan, and he looks a little bit like mm, muscly, I would say, since the break. Um, uh, I, I'm not sure who is going to play the striker role. I think the Jackson or Jameson. I forgot his name. Jameson is the name of the whiskey. Jackson, I guess. Yeah, they bought him from uh, from somewhere. I guess I forgot actually. But yeah, Atletico. I guess I forgot actually. But yeah, like so far what I've seen actually, like both of these players are. I'm not sure about right wing. I think Maduike can play that role actually in the right wing, and he had a quite a good run. But I'm not sure about his fitness because I read somewhere he is injured. Uh, ago, I guess. Also, Nkunku is out with injury. So I think one of them are playing, or they can go for a false nine with like Starling, but what's his name? Mudrik, uh,
Yeah.
the Ukrainian. Yeah,
No, fair enough. I mean,
he's going to play, and they will try to get like the transition and try to win the ball over there in the like around the mid circle and try to like push play those like long ball towards this area, and I don't know, like they get some sort of. I'm not sure about that. What will they do in the final third? But they will try to go in transition as well. So like it will be a really highly transitional game.
yeah,
I would assume,
it
but
could be end to end,
yeah,
at least a
could be
phase
end
of
to end.
it.
And also like it could be like really nasty game, like
Yeah,
players like slamming at each other because it's still preseason and
yeah, yeah.
nobody is that much fit actually so
Fair
far
enough.
what I've seen.
Fair enough.
Also, it's not like the normally we have like a season ends and then there is a like a gap, and I think this time it's only like 3 or 4 weeks. So I don't think so. Think that any of the team is like in the top of their physical fitness.
Fair enough. Um, yeah, I don't have anything else to add on or add on there.